Okay. What's your stance on China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims?
Frankly, I don't know much about that.
Turkey has said it was a great shame on humanity, and you have also spoken up in defense of Muslims around the world.
It's true. I mean, Muslim world is probably going through its worst phase right now.
But you won't speak out against what's happening in China.
If I had enough knowledge, I would speak about it. It is not so much in the papers.
But there's Pakistani men that have gone to protest about their wives being detained.
I haven't heard about that. Thank you.
Work. CPEC, China's Belt and Road Initiative. You might not like this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I saw in your communique with President Erdogan, you spoke about support for the Palestinian people, for example, reaffirming support for the Palestinian people. You're doing business with China. Does that mean you can't criticize them when it comes to what they're doing to the Uyghurs and putting possibly 1 million Uyghur Muslims in re-education camps that look like concentration camps?
I do not know the exact situation of this. Frankly, I mean, I just have to tell you the truth. In Pakistan at the moment, since we've been in power, 4 months, I've taken 5 days off. I'm serious, 5 days in 4 months. It's because of, the intensity of the issues which we immediately faced. New government comes in, first time in power, there were so many different issues to settle. So, to be honest, I actually don't know much about the situation, but I can tell you one thing. The Chinese have been, what can I say, I mean, in this doom and gloom which we inherited, the Chinese have been a breath of fresh air for us. They have been helpful to us in areas which I can't tell because some of the areas they want us to keep confidential. The Chinese government, every culture has its own way of working, but they work in a very confidential way. They do not like to bring things out in the public. So I can't talk about all the ways they've helped us, but they have been extremely helpful to us. And I must say the future, we have these plans of reviving our economy. China is going to play they're going to play a huge part because we have these special economic zones, we have cooperations in agriculture, investment in Gwadar. So,
if it's going on, would you criticize it? If it can be proved to you that it's going on?
If it is, I would deal with it in a different way with the Chinese. I would approach them and speak to them confidentially. I would never talk about it in public because that's how they are.
Jeffrey Rosen. Thank you. Jeffrey Rosen from Lazard. You described earlier the relationship with China that's been developing, an economic relationship. I'm curious how you reconcile that relationship with reports about the treatment by the Chinese of Muslim churches, Muslim mosques, the practice of Islam in China. Whether you're able to use this as the relationship as a means of pressuring the Chinese to perhaps relax in that treatment, and if not, whether you raise the risk of perhaps some of the more radical elements of Islam in Pakistan, acknowledging there's not radical Islams, but there are radical Islamic people who practice Islam who are radical, whether you run the risk of a reaction from them domestically, which could unsettle the country, your country.
Particularly given what the Chinese are doing, with the Uyghurs.
Look, with the Chinese, we have a special relationship, and any of, it's the way China functions, any of issues like these, we talk to them privately, we don't make public statements, because that's how China is. And I again repeat, China has come to a help when we were right at the rock bottom. So I would not publicly talk about it, but just, as someone who has taken over Pakistan 13 months ago, faced the biggest economic crisis, dealing with that. We have a problem in Afghanistan trying to settle that. We are worried about what would happen now with Iran and Saudi Arabia, the United States. That's the other border. So one border Iran, the other Afghanistan, and now with India. I think I've got enough on my plate right now.
Mr. Prime Minister, you were quite critical about the reception of the world regarding Kashmir and India. When it comes to China and the Uyghurs, you are not really very critical about this issue. Why is that? I mean, you really kind of like to stress the fact that you see yourself as a bridge builder in the Muslim world. Why are you not more outspoken about the situation of the Uyghurs in China?
Well, two reasons really. Number one, you cannot even, the scale of what is happening next door in India, you cannot compare that to what is supposed to be happening to the Uyghur community in China. You cannot compare that to what is supposed to be happening to the Uyghur community in China. I mean, just look at the scale. 8 million people in Kashmir are in an open prison for 5 months. So hence, I speak about that. Number two, 200 million Muslims right now in India. With this Citizen Act, what we fear is disenfranchisement of these people. Remember that in 1935, when the Nazis started the pogrom against the Jews, first they had the Registration Act. Similarly, in Myanmar, they first started a Registration Act of Muslims and then started the ethnic cleansing of the Rohingya Muslims. So this is the first step, and hence that is my number one. I mean, it is the scale of the problem is so huge. That's why I talk about it. But there's a second reason too. China has been a great friend to Pakistan. China has helped us in our most difficult time again because of the crisis we inherited, the economic crisis. So the way we deal with China is that when we talk about things, we talk about privately. We do not talk about things with China in public right now because they're very sensitive. That's how they deal with issues.